It's not always easy to find inspiration in moments you actually have time to make music. Today I share a simple trick that works for me. I explain the trick and share some ideas using my modular, but this idea works for any kind of equipment or workflow. If you end up using this trick, you're welcome to use the hashtag monotrailminiature, because I love to hear what you do with this. But now, let's dive right in. The idea is simple. Make it a habit to write compact musical ideas. Collect these and use them as little challenges for yourself when you're out of inspiration. When writing these ideas, follow a few rules to keep them simple and clean. Write ideas describing only 2 musical elements. Describe each element in a short sentence and give each sentence multiple descriptive words. Some examples will make this clear. A compact musical idea could be dark textured 5-step sequence with free-floating generative melodic solo. Or this one, gritty, fast-paced, aggressive lead build-up with mellow analog-style minimal jazzy drums. Open descriptions make it easier to interpret and adjust to your mood, but might also be less inspiring, while more descriptive words give you more to get started with if you're out of ideas. The core though is that these mean something to you. There's no right or wrong way to translate them to music. Just write and collect a bunch of these and see what works for you. When you're good at this sort of thing, you can just sit down and write a pile of ideas whenever you do feel inspired, but they might be hard to come up with on the spot. I like to collect these ideas over time. For example, when listening to music. Just put on a playlist when you're working or walking around. And every time something good comes up, take a second to write it out. Focus on capturing 2 elements in a track that you like or that inspire you. Don't try to capture the whole track or recreate it. You can also use your own music, projects that died out or didn't work. Again, just capture 2 elements from that project you like or want to get back to, and leave out the rest. Because my own music doesn't give any copyright issues, here's a quick example. Once you have a couple of ideas written down, you can generate variations by combining sentences from different ideas, or even combine different parts or words from sentences to new musical ideas. If you like to be surprised, you can write a bunch of them on cards and pick one at random, or use the sentences as individual elements in lists and pick 2 at random to work with. This year I focus on independent videos and ideas like the ones you're watching now. If you'd like to support my work or get access to PDF sheets with hundreds of patch ideas I used in my videos, have a look at my Patreon. You can also support my videos through affiliate links in the video description. The next step is to use your written idea in a compact musical creation. The key is to find a balance between having fun and pushing yourself just a little bit further. You probably use this trick in a moment you are not very inspired. The written idea is designed to get you going, have fun and maybe come up with a more concrete musical idea. So stick to what you wrote down and only use the described elements. Focus on making those 2 parts interesting and bringing them together. Try to get the most out of each written element. Don't expand too quickly or try to turn the idea into a full track. At the same time, avoid turning your written idea into a simple 4-bar loop. That's too easy. When translating the elements of your idea, add some development for each description. For example, with these lines, you can have the lead linger for a while on low energy, have a little build up, then drop back, and then go for a full build up. For the drum line of this idea, you could start with a medium dance section, play with a very minimal part, and then have the drums join the big build up, and so on. This still isn't a full track and doesn't need to be perfect at all, but each part has some evolvement over time. It's something you can practice and record, even if you just have a bit of time in an evening. Finishing something always feels good. It doesn't have to be your next release. Just learn, enjoy, and create something. You can always get back to it later if you feel it's worth it to spend more time on. I love to call these miniatures. They're not full tracks, but can be lovely ideas and even concentrated and interesting pieces of music. I think you'll get the most out of this trick by writing and collecting your ideas, as they will have elements that you're interested in and trigger your imagination. But I thought I'd write a list anyway, to get you started. You can pause this screen, copy and use these or variations any way you like. It's a simple concept and you can customize it to taste. Again, feel free to use the hashtag monotrailminiature because I'd love to hear what you come up with. For the rest of this video, I thought I'd just share my interpretation and patch for the idea I used as example in the beginning of this video. The dark textured 5-step sequence with free floating generative melodic solo. To create the dark textured sequence, I used the fold output of the dual harmonic oscillator from ATV Project. I just use a simple LFO to sweep the amount of FM from the second to the first oscillator. And I'm sending it a slow, steady 5-step sequence. The sound is going to a mixer where it's mixed with a looping, crackly noise texture. Then it's sent to Zagreb, a stereo filter, and then to my outboard mixer. Make sure to watch this video about using noise if you'd like to learn more about making textures. The floating generative voice is very simple in the core. The saw wave from the Taya fast wave is sent through the ladder filter from the Moog Mavis. The triangle LFO from Mavis is modulating the filter slightly. Moskwa is creating a 6-step sequence for that voice, running at 4 times the speed as the slow voice. Erfurt and Jena are clocked and creating alternate gate patterns. One of them is used to transpose Moskwa, another is used to modulate the clock speed of the master reverb, and a third is used to modulate Batumi and clock multiply mode, creating ratchets for the voice. The gate from the sequencer and the ratchets both trigger envelopes. These are mixed and modulating the filter in the floating voice next to the LFO. And of course, I used quite a bit of delay. For the structure, I used a simple build-up for the dark part, a drop back and a second calmer build-up. The floating voice is very simple, it basically just comes in when the dark sequence drops down. As always, if you'd like to learn more, have a look here and smash that like, subscribe and bell button if you want to see more modular content from me. But that's it for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.